Well, it'd probably be afternoon by the time I upload it. So I went to, I'm getting distracted really bad. This is my second attempt trying to make this video. And I keep seeing these little things. I'm in the outskirts of Lake City. And I keep seeing these little weird little novelty things that, you know, are in small towns. And I keep getting distracted. But I'm going to tell you about them in a second. But let me, I got the door delivered. So everything's good. Went to her house, or well, where she's building her house. And absolutely beautiful piece of property. I'm talking about, it's like, there's like this little neighborhood off of a state road. And she's like all the way in the very back of the neighborhood. Then you got to go down this little dirt road that has trees growing over it. And, you know, and then it just opens up in this giant place. Got a little mini lake there. Beautiful piece of property. So, what's that noise? I don't know. Everything's making noises in here. And this might be a little wobbly. I rigged up something for the camera. Or for the phone to record, because I can't do it on the mirror anymore. So anyways, but yeah, driving out here, I found a piece of property which I'm looking for now, and it had a ton of old vans on it, so I'm going to be scoping that out. Everything here is making noises, and I don't know what it is. It's killing me. I apologize for being distracted, but you know, this is some live action right here. So I posted on Facebook, but I drove by this Chinese restaurant, and it's Fu King Chinese, F-U-K-I-N-G. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. Well, I think it's up here. I like driving through little towns like this because you never know what you're gonna see. I seen a black building with like lime green lettering that says Hackers on the side of it. You know, I don't know, there's some weird stuff out here. I'm looking for this piece of property. And it's had a whole bunch of old trucks on it, but the back had a line of vans for what I've seen, and I'm gonna hunt that down just to kind of get an idea of what exactly it is and why is there so many vans. But yeah, Lake City's pretty cool. Like I've been here once before, but it was at night, and you know, really couldn't see half the stuff because I was on a rescue mission last time I came here. My dad, I think, got a flat tire or something years ago, and I came out here to, you know, get him a new tire. I forget what happened, but he was stranded out here, and I think he was going to flea market. Oh, I was going to go to the flea market out here, and it's closed down. So Google says it's still open, but you know, I drove there and I was right in front of it. I seen where the sign said flea market, and the gates were closed. And it looks like they're going to be opening up a fair, so maybe they have it closed down for the fair, but I wouldn't think so. So, but that was a bust because I was going to go to the flea market. I am going to go to the flea market, but I'm going to hit Ramona on the way back in. I should be back there. It's 10 o'clock now. I should be back there by 11. And I'll tell you one thing I'm kind of curious about is in between Lake City, well, up here, I guess, Sanford, Rayford area, you got all the prisons. I kind of want to stop at like a little restaurant and just say, okay, does anybody talk about non-prison related stuff? Like, what are the conversations when you have most of the city working for the prison? You know, it's things I think about. I know that's... Oh, that's my drink rattling. Okay. I found it. No more rattling. It's hard for me to drive around. This is the place. And the gate is open. Alright, so what is this? Tractor service. I'm just doing a U-turn on the side of a state road. So, yeah, there's like huge bulldozers and some military, some 800 series 5 tons. It's old Jeep Commando. Ooh, I can drive down the side road. This works out perfect. All right. You know what? I might show y'all here. Give me a second. All right. Oh, this is gonna suck. Let me see if I can do this here. There we go. And around. All right. So yeah, that is a deuce and a quarter right there. Flatbed. Yeah, these are deuce and a quarters, not 5 tons. They're bigger. So, but this is what I've seen here. Is these are not the vans. These are the little van pickups, but they're like old Fords. I don't know if y'all can see that here. There you go. There's 2 Ford Econolines. Looks like there's a model. No, I don't know what that is. That yellow thing out there. So, make sure I'm not blocking traffic. That's an old. I think that's a Kaiser Jeep. Maybe a Willys Jeep, but it might be. I think it's a Kaiser. He got some military stuff here. Alright, there wasn't many vans as I thought. I just saw them when I was driving by. I was like, "Ooh, gotta turn around and come back." But I wanted to get the door out of my truck. Alright, now that is a... Nope, that's not. I thought that was an 800 series, but it's not. But that's an old wrecker right there with the boom. Now that I think, yeah, well, no, that still might be a deuce and a quarter, but kind of has an 800 series cab on it. These are military vehicles that I'm talking about. So, and if you don't know, I was in the Marine Corps in motor transport, so I know a little bit about. Now, I don't know everything. Yeah, this drink is killing me. That rattling noise. I apologize. So. Yeah, he got some military trucks back here. My God. And unfortunately, most of them are gone to hell. You got some old, I don't know if y'all, oh, sorry, y'all looking at the B pillar, or A pillar. But yeah, he has some old Fords. And I think I seen an old Dodge too, like a 60s Dodge pickup. But all this stuff is pretty much extreme projects. That's a M1003 ambulance that I don't think you can see, but it's like right. I think that's there. Hold on. Ah, wrong way. Can y'all see it? I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's like right there. Yeah, that's an old, it's what's called a Cuck V ambulance. It's a GMC with a heavy duty suspension. Alrighty then. But I'm gonna go wander around a little bit. In fact, let me get down to the end of the road and I'm gonna try to put you guys back on the, on my little setup here. I tell you, man, we just back up in here in the woods. I'm gonna make a U-turn on the railroad tracks, but let me get you guys back on the little stand here. And welcome back. All right, let's see. How am I going to do this? There's not enough room to make a U-turn. So I'm just gonna keep driving. Aha, on the spot. But this is what I do when I'm bored, and I just, and this is someone's property. And I definitely don't want to go on someone's property. But I'm just gonna wander around, and whenever I'm driving, like in little backwoods towns, well, I won't say backwoods. I mean, a lot of people in these small towns are a hell of a lot smarter than people give them credit for. Like there's a small city in Blackshear. And I apologize if the camera should stabilize this, but if it doesn't, it might be a little shaky during the video. But there's a small little city called Blackshear, Georgia. All right, and you drive there, and it's nothing but, you know, fertilizer, churches, and, you know, places that sell sheds. And if you know, you know, you know. But low key, like I know it because I know some of the bigger players there because I've done work with them. But you would not believe how many millionaires, and I'm not talking they got $1 million. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. And they just got a nice little spread out in Blackshear, Georgia. You know, there's a lot of people who may own some very significant, I won't say national brands, but, you know, we're talking very, a little bit beyond regional. But, you know, they'll have multiple, you know, 300-400 stores across America, and they're living in Blackshear. So, and, you know, you put a task in front of them, and they get it done. Yeah, them are nice vans, but I think they're right on the edge of maybe being a little bit more of a project than I ever want to get into. I'd rather just spend a little bit more and buy one that's already been restored. A lot easier that way. But yeah, some of these little towns, they'll have some people that will surprise the heck out of you. Oh, and now we're entering Columbia County, which that's where all the prisons are, and I'm not about to stop and try recording a damn prison. I am not going to get hemmed up in this town. But I'm just having a little fun adventure day, and, you know, taking some time to get out and just enjoy. You know, this is what I want to do. I want to drive around and, you know, just kind of, you know, I want to go find these little mom and pop shops, and there was one back there that is called Two Fat Guys Burgers and Fries, and but they didn't open until 11 o'clock, and that's 30 minutes from now, and I didn't kind of, you know, that's a little on point when you got a fat guy waiting in the parking lot an hour to eat at a place called Two Fat Guys. So, you know, that's a little too on the nose to be, you know. I don't like judging people, and I definitely don't like to be judged, and that puts me in a position where I'm definitely going to get judged. So, what you doing? Waiting for fat guys to open? I want a burger. So, but it looks like one of them places where, you know, you get the big old fat burger, and, you know, it's a nice old school restaurant, which most of them in Jacksonville are being closed down for whatever reason. So, I still haven't figured out what it's about, but I'm going to do a little research and see if I can find out why a lot of these sandwich shops are closing down or being shut down. And there's one case where I know that the city applied pressure to shut them down. Now, they could have stayed open, but they were under a lot of scrutiny to stay open. So, you know, and the guy who owned it, he bought the restaurant for basically a personal playground. In other words, he was still making money, but the money wasn't the reason he bought the restaurant. Is he had a group of individuals that, you know, they wanted a place to sit down and meet. It's kind of, not really car club, but let's just say it was, you know, very similar to a car club. And, you know, he took over the restaurant, so he had enough control to where he could say, okay, you know, 1 or 2 times a year, we're going to close up, and we're going to, you know, we're going to have our own spread for us, you know, and bring all the cars and show people and stuff like that. It's like a bunch of old circle track racers, and they had all these hot rods and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, and I understand it, but it's still a good restaurant. You know, when they weren't having their events, I went and ate there all the time. So, but they had a lot of, you know, things on the wall that some people may take offense to, and, you know, the city was always out there, you know, saying, oh, well, you know, this is 1 degree off, or, you know, oh, you need to sweep your floors, or, you know. And listen, I've been in a lot of restaurants that have some of the best food you'll ever eat, you just can't look at the place, you know. I mean, some of them are, you know, a little shady, but, you know, so is most people's kitchen. I mean, I've been into some homes where I definitely wouldn't eat there. So, now hiring $20 an hour, a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Now, this may be targeted to one individual out there, but to be a correctional officer, which is a very brave and wonderful job, I'm not going to, I personally just could not understand the drive to go do that, you know. I mean, I can kind of sort of understand the cop, you know, protect and serve, but to be around criminals all day long takes a hell of a person. I couldn't do it. And, you know, for those who do, I'm glad y'all around, because there's no way in hell I could do that. I mean, I was sitting here thinking about it on the way up. But it just, you know, I guess what do you call it whenever you're done with a mission, you know, and you have to talk about your experience to kind of get it off your chest and get it out of your head? You know, it just, and I've heard stories of things that happen, and, you know, and there was some stories that was vocalized all across the damn Kmart back in the day. If you know, you know. But that's directed toward one person. But yeah, it just, I sit here and look at these places, and, you know, I'm glad there's some wonderful people out there that can do that job. You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, because of my upbringing, because of the situations that my life has been involved in, there's a lot of things that I couldn't do. I could not sit in an office and type on a computer, you know, and just sit there and do data entry, and I'm glad there's people out there that do, because I can't, you know, there's just things that I can't even comprehend. Like, you know, we have one life on this planet. Why would you want to be in a cubicle for most of it, for 40 years of a, you know, 80-year life? Why would you want to spend your life in a cubicle looking at a damn monitor, you know? Now, that being said, for the ones who, you know, are playing video games and making, you know, thousands of dollars a week, hell, go for that, you know? I mean, but at least you're at home, and, you know, you got your RGB, and you got your chair, and you got your, you know, your power fuel drink, whatever G fuel that you're selling, you know, get your grind on. But see, you can shut off and go do whatever you want anytime you want. You're not kind of stuck. Well, I guess you are kind of stuck there, but I don't know. I've been in offices where everybody's in a cubicle, and it just, everything is beige. People to drive to work in their, you know, in their Volvos and their Subarus, and but anyways, it's getting kind of close to 20 minutes here, so I'm gonna stop rambling and get back to driving. And and if you're watching this, thank you very much. I mean, this is a weird one. It's been a kind of a weird day. Like, I was supposed to go to the flea market, but they're closed, so, you know, I was gonna make a recording out there and have some fun, but now I'm gonna go to a different flea market. So, but that's it for now. Peace, love, money. Get out and travel just for a day. It's fun. I'm out.